We're back. Tri-State Sports Guys. Top 10. It was your idea.
Very good. I think it's a very exciting.
It is a very good idea. Top 10 bold predictions for the coming year. We're going to look back at the end of next year.
For the following calendar year, we'll be able to look back and say, hey,
who was right, who was wrong.
Who was right, who was wrong.
Yeah. What do you got? Why don't you go ahead?
All right, mine weren't really in any order, so I'm just gonna. As far as confidence or boldness, I'll just go right down my list. Number 10, I'm picking the Atlanta Hawks to win the East this year. Now I know everybody's all about the Heat. To me, I look at the Knicks. The Knicks do not look like they're a conference champion type team.
Peter would be happy about that.
I would say their biggest competition is clearly the Heat and the Bulls. The Bulls just beat them Tuesday night, but I just like the Hawks this year. They've always been a talented team. They kind of been a team that fights with each other all the time, but I kind of like them this year. Number 9, my prediction is the two teams that made the biggest splash in free agency this year, the Marlins and the Angels, both will not make the playoffs this year. Neither one of them will. They went out and spent hundreds of millions of dollars each of them. I don't think the Angels are that much better than they were. It's just crazy to say with Albert Pujols, but they're shifting around. One of the things they had was this versatile infield they could interchange. It becomes a lot less versatile now if you're going to have to stick Trumbo at third base or whatever. I don't know. I just don't think I still think that the team to beat out in the West is the Rangers. And the Marlins, they're going to have problems with Hanley Ramirez. I know he's saying he's on board now. They're going to have problems with him. You're going to see Jose Reyes miss 50 games to injury. Mark Burley, go ahead, spend $70 million or whatever, $60 million on him. I don't think either one of them make the playoffs. Now, my number 8 has to do with the team not making the playoffs, but the result is this is Joe Girardi's last season with the New York Yankees. I think they don't make the playoffs, and he's gone. I think that this is his last season. I think that this will be 2 out of 4 seasons they don't make the playoffs. I know last year I was high on them. Tony said they were only winning 85 games last year, but they're not gonna. They're just gonna get older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are they gonna get these crazy seasons out of some of the guys that they got? I don't think they make the playoffs, and I think that the Red Sox are that much better. This leads me into my number 7. I think the Red Sox are going to go out and win the World Series, which compounds the fact that Joe Girardi is going to get fired. I think Bobby V took a team that had Benny Agbayani, Jay Payton, Bobby Jones is their number 2.
Timo Perez started in left field.
Timo Perez was starting for them. He takes a team like that to the World Series.
That's why we've always been big fans of Bobby.
Right, and you can say if fans, whatever. If Mariano Benitez doesn't blow that game,
he took some garbage teams to win.
That's what I'm saying, and so he's going to take this team, and no matter what, you could say he wears out his welcome, which he probably does. He's going to give them 3 years of
got to be okay for 6
excitement.
months.
And their team is still super talented. I think they're going to play hard for him.
That's not bad.
I think they all have a chip on their shoulders, and those so.
I like that one.
They go together a little bit. My number 6, I think Peyton Manning's played his last game for the Colts.
I agree.
I'm not going to make a prediction as to where he goes.
I have a prediction.
Okay.
Well, I'll wait, but I'm with you on that.
I think it's his last guy. I agree
with you there.
I think he's going. He's going to go find somewhere else, whether it's via trade. People are talking about they won't be able to trade him. They're going to have to cut him outright.
That's a shame.
So that he gets. But it is a shame. But it is just
the reality.
Price of doing business here. Number 5, you're going to hate this one. Mets prediction. Johan's going to win 15 games this year. Johan Santana's going to win 15
You need to take your analysis. You need to take
games this season.
We need to get
I can't wait. When he has his 15, there's going to be
you're under the
banners
influence.
flying. We're going to be throwing confetti around. In here, we're going to do the whole show with the whole... Wait till he gets his 15
In the major leagues, he's winning 15
15 games for the
major league.
It might not be the New York Mets. Maybe he'll do well and they'll trade him. But he will win 15 games this year. He's going to bounce back. Everybody thinks he's done.
I will bet you if he wins 15 games, it will not be for the Mets.
Well, that's... You don't think he's going to win 15 games. Don't give me
He could win. Listen.
He's going to win 15 games this year. My Super Bowl predictions, my number 4, I'm going to go with the Saints. I talked about it a little earlier on.
All right.
I think they're just a complete team. This isn't
That's
so
not
much
that bold, though.
This isn't a bold. That's what I said. I didn't know how bold we're going. I can't wait to see yours. But we're going to give a prediction. I'm saying the Saints are going to...
That's a good one.
They're right now the third.
I love
Vegas
the
got them
Saints.
third as far as...
Love them.
I love them. I think they're...
Can I just give you a quick tidbit? Last year, my boy was James Starks. This guy, Ivory, I love
That's your boy, Chris Ivory?
I love the way he runs.
Number 3, this might be my heart doing a little bit of this. The Pats are going to be one and done again this year. The Steelers are going to win. They're going to go into Foxborough and they're going to beat them. This will be another season where they come in get a home game in the playoffs, get a bye, and they're going to lose.
If that happens, there need to be some serious change.
They're going to lose.
Defense.
They're not crazy. I'm telling you right now, they're going to lose.
You're not crazy for saying that.
They
don't play any defense.
I am extremely confident in that. My number 2, you're probably not going to like this one. Tim Tebow will start all 16 games next year. And that's bold for two reasons. One is people don't think he's going to be good enough. Two, people think he's going to get hurt. I think that he's a runner. I don't think he's going to get hurt. I think he's going to play all 6. I'm not saying he's going to be good. But he's going to be better than
you'll see why I'm laughing.
I think that he's going to be their best option for 16 games. He's going to still pull out some crazy games. My number 1, you're going to like this one. Mark Sanchez. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards next year.
I thought you were going to say he's going to win MVP. I was going to fake.
He's going to throw for 4,000 yards next year. That's a lock.
It's not crazy. I mean, it's bold. It's not crazy.
4,000 yards.
You get a new coordinator.
He might do it after 14 weeks.
You get a new coordinator in there.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to do it. If you get anybody that can have a little yak,
well,
can you give me?
It won't be thrown to home.
It won't be to San Antonio.
We have none.
I love that.
Maybe one that is saying
love
that's
it. This is my favorite top 10 in a long time.
Number 10.
Yeah.
I got the Heat winning the NBA title. That's my least bold. That's why it's my number 10.
How's that bold? Aren't they the favorite?
My least bold.
But you made fun of my Saints thing.
No.
They're the favorite to
That's
win.
That's my number 10.
Okay. But you just
think,
pick a little bit. You did pick on me a little bit.
Number 9. This is even less bold. The Raiders are going to win 5 games. It's the truth. Mike T, I'm sorry, but we'll talk about it later. The Raiders won 8 games.
Gave me the figure.
The Raiders won 8 games, and we can go game log. I know you love game logs, and I can point out at least 4 games that they shouldn't have won.
Jets.
That's one, and I honestly, that's probably the least. That's like one of them where they actually should have won that game.
So then you'd at least admit that trade for Carson Palmer was terrible.
I told you.
You know you did not.
Hold on. What I said was, I don't mind getting Carson Palmer, the player. They gave up way too much for him. And I even said to you, I don't care if they win the Super Bowl. It's still they gave up too much for him.
Yeah, way too much.
Number 8.
This
is where I start getting real bold.
Okay.
Number 8. I believe that the BCS will never be like this again. I think that they will change it because I think this game is going to be ugly. And people are like, I have a feeling what's going to happen is what you said is Alabama's going to win, which is just going to make everybody, which is going to make everybody. I want LSU to win, but I think everyone's just going to say, you know what? Maybe they add a game. I don't know how they're going to change it, but I believe that this game will cause an uproar to say, you know what? Oklahoma State deserved to be in there. Even Stanford would have been a better matchup. Blah, blah, blah. Number 7. You brought up Andrew Luck. I believe, shout out to my boy Danny Mara, who I was talking to about this. I believe next year, Robert Griffin III will have more wins than Andrew Luck.
Okay.
I just believe. He's the type of player that.
Do you have a team in mind there where he's
going to go? Wherever he goes, he's going to maybe. First of all, he's not going to be drafted as high, so he's going to be put in theory, a better situation.
Yeah.
He relies a little more on athleticism, so it's not so much like he's got to learn the system like Luck does. I just believe that his ceiling is not nearly as high. Obviously, his ceiling is not nearly as high.
But you don't think that he's got that jump that he's going to have to take from the competition he's playing at Baylor?
I can see him being like a Cordell Stewart for a couple. He's not going to win 12 games, but he will win more games next year
as a quarterback. You don't think he's going to be a slash type guy? He's going to come in and be a quarterback.
I'm hoping he's a quarterback. Number 6, this one hurt. This is maybe a reverse con. People from New Jersey know what that is. I believe Jose Reyes will win the MVP. Now, like I said, that may be the reverse.
A little bad karma.
That may be. I'm hoping.
Bad karma.
I would love nothing more than for that to be a reverse and for him to miss 70 games, not just 50 games. But you can see it happening. He will have 1 year where Mets. He's going to hit for he will definitely hit for the cycle against the Mets at some point, and he'll do his stupid dance.
He'll put the light on it.
Yeah. Number 5, also baseball related. This is not that bold, but Yu Darvish, I believe he will make the All-Star team. And I believe that he's going to have a ridiculous first year. A lot of these great Japanese pitchers, a lot of talent, like Nomo.
Yeah, they make a splash, yeah.
And I believe that he's going to be very good this first year. Number 4, I believe Peyton Manning will go to the Dolphins. But that's what's really bold is I believe he will not be ready to play Week 1.
Okay. Now this is based on nothing, or
it's just based.
You got some.
No. It's based on literally. Just thinking,
a hunch.
Guy's got neck surgery. That's not something you just like.
Yeah, but they were talking to playing this year at some point. Now
he's older. I just could see it happening. I could see it happening.
I could see him going down there. He's want to go someplace warm.
That's what I thought. Because other people were like, he should go to Cleveland. I'm thinking to myself, that guy with that neck.
You kidding
Talk
me?
about old retired men. That's why old retired men don't live in Cleveland because they can't get up. You want this guy playing football there?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't he just be out there with Reggie Bush?
Yeah, exactly.
Number 3, Tiger Woods will win multiple majors.
Wow. This was my one.
And that's going in your article.
I had it written down. It was my on the bubble.
He will win.
I was going to say, I said he's going to win 2 or more, and I wrote it down, and then I said, I don't want to. I dislike him that much. Well, I'm not going to be rooting for him. I didn't want to have to root for him, but that might go in the article. That might
number 2. Why I laughed mine is also Tim Tebow, but it is literally the opposite of
He
what
won't play one game.
This time next year, Tim Tebow will never be a starting quarterback again.
He will have started his last game.
At this point next year, we'll say, remember when Tebow Mania? He will not. At this point next year, going forward, he will never be a starting
I
quarterback.
think he got his 15 minutes out of this
That
year.
was
I love Tebow. I love the guy.
Yeah.
But that's why I thought it was funny. You had it as number 2, but you for the exact opposite reason.
That is funny.
Number 1, it's not that bold in that you could see it happening, but it's sad. I believe Sidney Crosby will retire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a shame. Just
That would be-
you don't know anything about hockey, neither
No,
do I.
but we know about
But
Sidney Crosby.
He is the equivalent of.
We've actually talked about him on the show. He's one of the few hockey guys we've discussed.
He's the equivalent of. I could even. Who's the equivalent of some guy who just retires on top?
Sandy Koufax.
Barry Sanders, but
Barry-
Barry Sanders
no,
did it
Barry-
on his
no,
own
like
choice. He did
Sandy
it by his
Koufax.
own choice.
Sandy Koufax. He's.
And it's even younger, obviously, but I mean, one
I
of those
believe
guys
he
that
will
was
retire.
the best in the game.
We talked about
He's
it
the
last
face of the
year on this
NHL.
show. Remember there was that rumor
Yeah.
that he was retiring? There was
Yeah.
a rumor like, it's crazy.
That was, I think it was in the Say What or
It
something.
probably
yeah.
was. I'm like, there's no way. Now you're looking
What's
at
he,
it.
23, 24 years old?
And he
He's
got
like,
hurt.
Yeah, my age, like 25.
He got hurt.
maybe.
I remember watching it because they were filming the 24/7, and he got hurt in one of the games leading up to that game.
No, it was in the Winter Classic.
Oh, that's
He
right, it was
got
in the Winter
knocked
Classic.
out, but got a shoulder to the head,
And they
hit the
showed it in
ground
the
real hard,
24/7.
and he'd been out for like 11 months until
And
the
he
beginning
played
of
like 6
December. He
games.
came back.
He's
and
having
then
I believe he will
since-
retire.
played like 4 games and then out
Wow,
again.
that'd be horrible. You think this year he's going to make his announcement in the next 12 months? That
I mean, you look at this guy. He didn't even really get hit, did he? This time around,
No, I think
He
it was
just
just
had-
like
just started having
post-concussion
headaches.
Yeah, yeah,
syndrome
you could
stuff.
get-
I mean, that's. I mean,
he's not a big.
they
dude.
like your dude.
No, he's not. He's not a very big guy at all.
But I don't think big guy has to do with like your head. But
No, but what I mean is like he's not even. It's not like he's a big guy making a lot of contact, so you would see what he's getting. Just like maybe he's running, he's skating too fast.
Mhm.
And like,
I
so a
don't
guy
know.
like that, how
It's
can
a
he continue
shame,
to
though.
play?
that would be the worst. That would be horrible
Yeah.
because he's like you said.
And that was
he's
the
a guy.
fir-
It makes a guy who doesn't watch hockey. You know, you watch the Olympics. You watch that kind of stuff.
And I put that as my number 1 because when I saw your email, it was literally the first thing that popped in my head.
Is that right?
And it's a shame that
Hockey. This guy's got
Well,
you.
it was 'cause it's
now
not-
we're talking hockey here.
He's changed me.
He
for the
has
better.
changed you for the better.
Diversification.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, anything you got want to add? You got any bold predictions?
I got a few.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
got a few. Number 1, the Eagles will win 12 plus games,
Oh my
the
God.
NFC East, and have a 1 or 2 seed next year.
Get out of here.
Wow. All right.
With all that talent, I
This
think
is
they
like
turn
this
it
kind of
around.
like my Red Sox pick, though. You see, team that's talented,
enough.
didn't make the playoffs.
They're
All right.
playing hard for Andy Reid last
Yeah,
4
they
games.
were playing hard.
They play hard, yeah. Look good against the Jets.
The New York Rangers will finish first in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Just a hunch.
I mean-
I'm kind of a big
How come
fan.
none of these guys win the championship?
Now, how are you not an Islanders fan? You're from the island, right?
I am.
I like that you're not, but I mean,
Well, because when I was growing up, I played a little roller hockey.
Yeah.
And in '94, I was becoming impressionable about sports, and I watched the Rangers win the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup.
Messier and all.
Yeah, exactly. Messier, all those guys, Leach, Gardner,
Yeah.
Victor, all those guys, and they were the first. That was the first sports championship I really remember watching. So
Yeah.
I became a fan from there on out. My buddies were fans as well. So
it's like Tony D and the Bills.
plus, I'm not that close to Nassau Coliseum. I'm from Eastern Long Island. So
Yeah.
It's not like it was right in my
I mean,
backyard.
Up by like Jerry
Does that mean
Seinfeld.
anything to you?
What?
Probably doesn't mean anything.
No,
to
I
me.
know where Nassau Coliseum is.
It means nothing when he sees from Eastern Long Island. I have no idea what that means.
I mean, I know East and West.
Yeah.
I know the map. Like
I don't know where Long Island is.
Fair enough.
I don't know where the Coliseum is.
I know where the airport. I don't go much past the airports.
I don't even consider it.
Completely going against your whole Yankees thing. I think Ivan Nova wins 16 plus games again.
You and Nova and him and Santana.
I
They're
love
playing
Nova.
I like Nova though. I think he's one of my fantasy guys that I'm going to go after.
I like him a lot.
I like him a lot. Ain't gonna be enough to save
I'm
Girardi's
mad
job.
at him for coming out of that game in the second inning with a strained forearm. It's game 5 for God's sakes. Figure out a way to compete. Look at
Muscle up.
you think
I
Ben
I do like
You
it.
think
I
Ben
think he just
Roethlisberger's
got
coming out of that
pulled.
game?
I think he just got pulled, and instead of just pulling him, they said he was hurt because
Yeah.
he's young.
Even worse.
He's like,
even worse. Come
That's-
on.
I mean,
That's
does
psyche.
it worry
That's
you a
for
little bit
people's
that he
psyche.
could be another like Phil Hughes who made a splash and then doesn't.
Jabba,
He's a little
have
mentally
you,
tougher,
Have you
I
heard of the
think.
Jabba rules?
All right, what do you
All
got?
right, I got USC will be the BCS #1 seed and playing in the national
I believe
championship.
that. I don't think that's bold. I believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
They just have more talent than everybody else. And the Minnesota T-Wolves will make the playoffs in the West.
Yeah, you
Ricky
like him.
Rubio.
I'll tell you, Rubio looks good, man. He
I just
scores
think everyone
points.
else in the at West just either looks old or
crazy.
they're not really
And that's the
bringing
thing.
it.
We talked about the compressed schedule.
Yep.
Helps a young team like that.
That's a good segment. We'll be
Great
back
segment.
with 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Look at that with 2 seconds to spare, Mike T.